My mom is really smart. She's incredibly kind. She has more empathy in her little finger than I think most people have in their entire body. And I do think it's those things about her that make her particularly susceptible to these kinds of conspiracy theories.
Followers of a fast-growing conspiracy group called QAnon could have a significant influence in the upcoming election.
I just don't know about QAnon.
The insane right-wing conspiracy group called QAnon. The FBI has called a potential domestic terror threat.
Twitter is removing thousands of accounts linked to QAnon, or Q.
I started noticing some things on her Facebook page that she was sharing that I knew to be untrue, mostly around the border camps. She was sharing a lot of information about the border camps being a way to stop or prevent children being trafficked across the border illegally. That was sort of the first thing that I saw her post that I knew to be a little bit off the wall. And it's continued to deepen and develop over the years. And at one point, I was talking to her on the phone and she brought up, I can't even remember what the theory was, to be honest with you, but she brought something like that up. And I said, Mom, I really don't think that's true. Where did you find that information? And she said, well, I saw it in a meme on Facebook. She started tagging me in all of the memes on Facebook about that thing afterward. And it was kind of embarrassing. You log into Facebook and there's 3 political conspiracy theories now tagged on your page with your name and no other explanation. The question, I think, has become less about truth and more about the morality of sex trafficking. And so the more she reads about it, the more difficult it becomes to have these conversations, because instead of saying, well, here's where I got the facts and information from, and yes, it's true, or no, it's not true, the discussion becomes, well, how can you be trying to tell me that this isn't true when it's obviously immoral?
Do not let them normalize pedophilia.
I would say the most noticeable theory that I think really took off was the Wayfair conspiracy theory. My mom has worked with children over the years. I think she just knows how scary it can be to lose your kid in the store and not know what happened to them. I think my siblings and I all got lost while we were shopping, and you turn around and they're there, and the next minute you turn around, they're gone. And I think a lot of the things that you see passed around on Facebook and any other social media site really are sort of the idea that some scary stranger will follow you through the store and just grab your kid. And that danger is always very real and very imminent. Once you sort of start reading articles about the QAnon conspiracy theories, the algorithms are also programmed to continue feeding you similar types of information. It ends up feeding you more conspiracy theories, like you shouldn't put your child in a mask because if children are wearing masks, then we can't see the panic in their faces to stop them from being trafficked when they're out in public, and some things like that. So she's continued to share those theories. She definitely does not feel that mask wearing is necessary. And in fact, she, on several occasions, has sort of bragged to me about her area not really wearing masks in general. If she were to get the virus, I don't really know what we would do. We couldn't visit her in the hospital. That's not allowed. And thinking about the process of what it would look like for her to get the virus is so scary that I try to just not think about it at all. I can't imagine having Christmases without her in the future, or doing so many of the things that we do together as traditions as a family. And I think if something seems true, that even if you're a very smart person, now is just a really difficult time to figure out what information is correct and what isn't. And when it's something that feels that urgent, that hundreds of thousands of children are being trafficked across the border, it feels like, oh my gosh, I have to do something about this and I have to do it now. You don't give yourself that moment to pause and think about it. And her empathy and her kindness really kick in, and she wants to help these kids. I think that's what's the most heartbreaking for me, is that it's the best things in her that are making her so susceptible. And I hate that she's sort of being taken advantage of like that. Majority of my friends do have parents who at some point have shared some sort of conspiracy theory. It's nice to feel like you're not alone. It can be really emotionally draining. It can often feel like you're on a boat alone in the ocean and you're the only one seeing what's happening. And knowing that there are other people in that boat with you, and that maybe it's even a cruise ship, I think that's really important.